Hey guys, welcome to another how-to video with Matt Waters. Today I'm going to show you how to change out those old, yellow, nasty, maybe even non-working three-way switches. So stick around, I'm going to show you how. Okay, so before you do anything else, you need to ask yourself a few questions. Are you qualified enough to do this, or do you need to call somebody? If you are, then you need to find your circuit breaker, and you need to turn off the breaker to the light source. In my case, we are in the kitchen, so that'd be my number 2 breaker on this side, so I'm going to go ahead and swap that off. Alright, so now that we have the circuit breakers off to the power source, we can just go ahead and flip the switches and just make sure the lights don't switch on and stuff. They don't work. Alright, so we're good to go. Next, we're going to take a flathead screwdriver and take these screws out. I'm going to take my flathead and go ahead and take these screws out now. Alright, so now that all the screws are out of place, we can sit here and pop this cover off now. Alright, so there's the inside right there. Alright, so now we want to take our Phillips head screwdriver and we want to remove the screws that hold the switch in place. Okay, so once you got the screws to your switch housing off, you want to just go ahead and pull your wiring out right here and take a look at it. And what you want to notice is where your wires go. In my case, I got a red one here, got my white here, and I got my black one over here, right? So you just want to take your switch, right? This is the new three-way switch, and we just want to compare it right here. So we know that we're going to be putting the red one here, the black one here, and we're going to be putting a white one down here, guys. Alright guys, so I wanted you to see this real quick because in some cases you might have where the wires are wrapped around the screw, just like in this case right here, or sometimes you'll have the kind where the wires come in through the back of the box, and in that case you're going to need to get yourself like some needle nose pliers or something so that you can push the little tab in and pull them out. So let's go ahead and take these loose now. Alright, so we'll go ahead and unhook our wires. Alright, so here's the older switch right here, and we're going to replace it with our new one now. Alright everybody, so here's our new three-way switch right here that we picked up from the local hardware store. And what we're going to do is because you can hook it up to the screws right here, right? But I don't like using it. I like using these little ports that's right here. As you can see, these 3 holes right here, right? So what I'm going to do is take my wires right here and I'm going to straighten these out with my channel locks, and then we're going to put them right in there. Alright, so I'm just going to take my trusted channel locks right here and we're just going to straighten out these wires. They ain't gotta be perfect, but you want them as straight as possible to try to get them to go in those little holes. Alright, so those are straightened out. So now we're going to take my switch and we're going to put it back just the way it was. So I'm going to start right here at the bottom one. And see the little hole right here? That's where you want to stick it. You don't want to stick it in this square part right here. That square part is the lock mechanism, so that if you put it on wrong or you want to take this switch out in the future, you can stick like a little pair of needle nose pliers or something right into this square hole and it'll release the wire, right? So make sure you do not stick it into the square hole. You want to stick it into the round hole, right? So I'm just going to stick it in right there, and you just hold on to your wire and give it a nice push and it should go right in smooth. Alright, that one's in and locked in place. Now I want to take my red wire right here. I want to put it into the top. And the same thing, you just want to hold the wire stiff and then push the outlet and it should go right in smooth. Alright, so now we got our last wire that we need to do. Now a little trick sometimes, guys, if it's hard to do that, just take your pair of channel locks and hold the wire just like that, right, stiff, and push the box part, and it should slide on easy for you. Alright, so now that's in place. So now it's hooked up, so now we can install it back right here. We're going to just push it back and go ahead and get the new screw just kind of hand started. Alright, we'll just hold that right there. Then we'll grab our screwdriver. And we'll put that part back in and go ahead and screw it back in. Alright, so if you want to go ahead and continue to go ahead and do your other switches, that's fine. Or if you want to go ahead and test out what you've done so far, now is the time to go back to your breaker box, turn your breaker back on, and then come and test your switch out. Alright, so I just checked everything and everything's working great with that. So I'm going to go ahead and proceed to the next switch. So we're just going to go ahead and repeat the process by taking the screws loose first, guys. Alright, so that's loose and we're going to pull it out, and look at that, it's just the same exact way as the other one was. The white wire on the bottom, red on the top right, and we got our black on the top left right there. So what we're going to do is just do the same exact thing. We're going to take these loose and hook them right up to the new one. Alright, let's go ahead and get it all unhooked. Alright, just like we did in the very first part, we're going to take our channel locks and we're going to straighten out these wires. So now we're going to take our new switch and we're going to do it just like we did right there. We're going to take our white one first, the bottom one, and you see what I'm talking about in the round part right there. Just going to put it right there and hold it. And like I said, you can take your channel locks to kind of stiffen it up a little better. Alright, so that's in place. Now we can take our red wire and hold that with the channel locks. Push. Now that's in. And now we can take our final top wire right here. And right there. And we'll do the same thing. Hold it. Push in. Alright, so that's all in. Now we can put it back in the wall. And line up our screws. And go ahead and tighten them up just a little. Alright, so now that one's done. Alright guys, so it was that simple as you can see. So once you've got all your switches working and were changed out that you need to, the last step is to either put new cover plates on or just stick your old one right back on. And you want to make sure you get it to line up properly just the way it was before. So that might mean a little adjusting with the screws, and in this case it doesn't line up exactly the way I want it. So what I need to do is actually shift this one that way a little bit. So I'm just going to loosen these a little bit and shift it and tighten them back. Alright, so now that we got everything lined up the way we want it, we can go ahead and start putting our screws back in. You can use one to kind of hold them all in place while you put the rest in. Alright guys, so now you can cut your breaker back on and test out your brand new three-way switches. They look great, don't they? Hope you guys enjoyed the video and it was simple enough. So if you liked the video, be sure to hit that like button down below and subscribe if you haven't already. Hope you guys have a great day. Peace.